Today I'm going to show you how to set up a static IP address in Windows 10. The first thing to do is go to the bottom right where you'll see a little symbol for your internet connection. I'm connected over Ethernet, so it looks like this. If you were connected over Wi-Fi, then it would be some little bars instead. So just right click on it and then say Open Network and Sharing Center. And then right here it will list all your options for your internet connection. So I'm only connected with Ethernet right now, so that's the option I'm going to go with. But if you were connected with Wi-Fi and Ethernet, they would both appear here. So just make sure you select the correct one for what you want to change your IP address of. So I'm just going to click on the Ethernet 2 option right here, and then I'm going to go to Properties, and then I'm going to double click on IPv4 because that's one I'm using for the IP addressing. So if this box is checked, it's automatically going to get an address from whatever DHCP server is on your network. So if we want to statically assign it, we just need to click here, and then it's going to ask for a whole bunch of information. So if you already know this information, then just input it. I'm going to show you how to find it if you're just trying to set a static IP address on a network you're already connected to. Also, if you're like connecting to a router or something that you're just setting up and you need to set a static IP address for that, generally it's going to tell you on the box what address that you need to set for your device. So if you need to set it up for just like a local network that you're on and you want to make it so that you always know what the IP address of the computer is, then we just need to go to the command prompt first and find out what your current IP address is. So if I go to command here and then type in ipconfig, then it's going to give me my current IP configuration. So this assumes I'm already connected to the network that I want to assign a new address on. So this is the information that we'll need. My current address is 192.168.1.143. What that tells me is it's a Class C, just normal address, because also my subnet mask is right here. It's 255, 255, 255. Because of that, I know that it's the last numbers right here that matter, and I just need to set an IP address that's outside of my router's DHCP range. So I know that my router starts at .50, and that's really, really normal. Some of them might start at a bit higher at 150, but because my DHCP address is 143, I know mine starts lower than 150. So I'm going to assume it starts at 50. So you just need to give your computer an IP address that's not in the DHCP range, and also that's not used. So I know the only ones on my network that are used are 1 and 2. So I'm going to just set my IP address here to 192.168.1.3, and like I said, I know that's an unused IP address. And then when I click in the subnet mask, it's going to autofill it in. Unless you're doing some more advanced subnetting stuff, then you would just leave this as default. Then for the default gateway, that's generally going to be whatever the IP address of your router is. So my default gateway before was 192.168.1.1. It's going to stay that same IP address, and I also know that that's the IP address of my router. So I'm going to put that in for the default gateway. Then for the preferred DNS server, generally you're going to put in your router for that as well. But then for a backup, generally I use Google's backup DNS. So that's 8.8.8.8. And then if my local DNS was to fail, it would back up to the Google one. The only issue with that is if you're on the Google DNS server, you can't access local devices by hostname. So in that case, like if you set up a printer by a hostname, it wouldn't be accessible, but at least you can still have some DNS functionality. So then just hit OK here, and then hit OK again, and now you've assigned a static IP address. So if I just do ipconfig right here, again, you'll see that the IP address that shows up is the one that I just set up. So 192.168.1.3.